Burn live. Merle Wangley keeping you connected. Hashtagging these red eyes. Changing the viewer's eye red. Keeping underage smoking off social media. Hoping you sons of kittens out there can hear, brother. Okay, so you can't hear me. That's what's up. Um, for some odd reason, we can't hear no nothing. Well, I couldn't hear my intro or nothing, so it is what it is. Good morning, everybody. Hey, I didn't even get it. I didn't even shut this out like a normal good citizen that I would normally would. Steady trying to fix my thing, fix my comment. What's up, everybody? Another interesting show. Like my friend, I had a friend said, "Man, you go live every day. You're not as hyper as he was when you was working 7 days a week and you couldn't go live when you would get on that." Like, yeah, man, I'm hyper, y'all. I'm live. I'm live. I'm live. I still got that same energy. It's just now it just seems like there's always something missing or something that I ain't done correctly to my show. Like right now, I can't hear nothing, but I'll be able to hear hopefully the music. Well, not the music because I have no music in the background. I've been listening to a lot of my shows, and I don't like how it sounds when I have the music. It's very hard to hear. I don't sound clear. I sound very distorted. I really sound rough. I sound rough. I do. I do. I sound rough. When I sit back and I listen to myself, I really do sound rough. I got vigilante, blah, 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 vigilante, angel cakes in the building today to hang out with me, smoke with me, dad with me, um, go on another adventure with us. This might, this might not be our last day of doing this test run together. Sure is. I'm gonna take a dab. It's May 1st, y'all. It's May 1st already, and stuff like that. In the middle of the month and stuff like this. Okay. So I got some new mic covers and things that's gonna be coming to the show that's gonna help with the soundproofing. They're making me sound a little bit clearer and um not necessarily clear. It's basically just trying to get rid of some of this echo that I know you guys do hear that doesn't sound that clear. And once we get done with that, we're gonna be on and popping. Um Today is Monday, so y'all know what we really about. Today is about them damn, damn receipts. Oh shit. See, this is what is gonna creep me out. Cause like we were just sitting here, I was watching videos, and it was all good. Like I had no problem. Now, okay, cool. Long as I can hear it. I had to hear it. I know y'all can probably can't hear it now, but it wasn't about now because I'm gonna bring up some videos and articles and stuff like that. Um, I know I spoke one day about that word but is better than the word but. I can't say that. But it just really lets you know that you're looking around for words and things to talk about. Man, what's good, everybody? We finna get into this show. hopefully, hopefully, let me bring this up to you guys.
I think something's wrong with this beer. Ma'am, something's wrong with this beer. Can you put it in a different glass, please? I started drinking it and now I've got hot flashes and I'm not sure where I want to go eat. Just a different cup. I just feel weird about it. So overdue for a manicure. Let's try. It's a freaking awesome beer. Woo! I feel like myself again.
Fuck Bud Light. Fuck Anheuser-Busch. Have a terrific day.
Oh wow! You know how many of those it
Hey,
took, and
JR, how's that Bud Light taste?
It's pretty good.
Oh, damn.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I gotta tell you guys, this Bud Light boycott is probably the most successful conservative boycott that I can think of in a long, long, long time. Okay, because it's an absolute disaster for that company. And I'm absolutely loving it for various reasons. Mainly because of the TikToks that are being made by patriots across the country, absolutely clowning Bud Light. Okay.
I could definitely agree. Finally, we stick it up for something that we agree upon, and not letting a culture or community, whatever word you want to call them, run over us and take over things that we love. It's bad enough China taking over TikTok and Netflix and and stuff like that, but they can't hear you too because you're totally away from the mic. But you know what I'm saying? To take away the most Americanized thing and say, you know what, it's not Americanized, it's for everybody, is a little upsetting. I don't know how offsetting it is to y'all, but it is a little upsetting to me.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but in every one of my Bud Light videos, I always put this one TikTok that I think is my favorite. The one where the guy is drinking the Bud Light. He's like, "Hey, JR, how's that Bud Light tasting?" Right? And then the Bud Light, slips down his throat. I love that TikTok. That TikTok is my absolute favorite. Okay. It's one of my favorite TikToks of all time. And Bud Light is super desperate. Okay. They fired, well, not fired, but they put on leave some of their top marketing executives. The woman that we thought was responsible for the sponsorship that got them in trouble in the first place, she's been put on leave. And then another executive that actually works at Anheuser-Busch, he got put on leave as well, too. And they've released desperate ads, okay, to try to win back their core customer base, their core audience, because
Ads to win us back. Y'all think there's any ads out there that you'll be able to see that be like, you know what, let me come back to my home, to the beer that I've been drinking? I doubt it. Um, I'm not such. I used to drink beer. Probably in my high school days, early 20s. I was a beer drinker. I didn't know better. I just thought, it was cool. And damn right, I was drinking Budweiser that was made from St. Louis because I'm from St. Louis. I just thought that was the best thing about drinking beer from St. Louis is I know it come from my hometown. I know it's some of the freshest beer, you know. And now that I'm out here in Vegas, gone, and to think about the LBD, I'll say LBD, their community. I don't want to get slandered or whatever, but that community out there taking over our beer, taking over thing that is American, hard workers and structure like that is, it's not the ideal thing that I can say that I approve of.
because their sales are hurting. And we're going to take a look at some new numbers today that shows that the boycott is getting even worse. as predicted. Okay, I've been telling you, I think the worst is yet to come for Bud Light. To be quite honest with you, this company is permanently damaged. Okay, but yeah, they've released some ads. The ad they released before was a pro America Clydesdale ad that again was obvious pandering to their conservative customer base to try to get them back and say, hey, look, we're the old Budweiser slash Bud Light. Okay, we're still the same company when they're really not even an American company anymore, right? And now they've released this ad, okay, this Bud Light shower beer ad, which they released during the NFL draft. Okay, so again, they sponsored the NFL draft. They're pushing hard, right? They're doing a marketing blitz, trying to get their core customer base back. Okay, it's almost as if they shouldn't have disrespected them in the first place. And I want to play it because the ratio on this ad is absolutely epic. So they just released this 3 days ago. And I have to turn down the volume because of copyright. Okay, so you're only going to see the video, but you won't hear any volume. It has 10 million views. Let's actually play it real quick.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all, by him playing this video and we can't hear it, and he finna put his 2 cents in, it takes away from it. Understandable. Let's just go ahead and discuss some things. I'm gonna put this in the background real quick and find another article. But Bud Light, Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch is taking a hit. I'm proud of it. Sorry I didn't want to watch the rest of it, y'all. That kind of threw me off. I don't know about y'all. Put in the comments if that didn't throw you off, like it just threw me off. There's way more articles to talk about out here, or we can bring up, that I would like to just see what's going on. Let's get into something a little bit more serious. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all know it's Monday. It's about them receipts. It's about really looking into things that's going to help us better ourselves. Everybody's striking on the Budweiser. It's not going to help better ourselves. I think that's the only campaign, because it's beer. It's going to take care of itself. More important issue: gun rights, kids' rights, border patrol. We finna go see what this article right here. Y'all know what it is. We finna get into some factual things that's going on. No bullshit. Let's get into this.
Is as binary as you're describing it? Are you confident that it isn't a spectrum?
I am.
You know this as a scientist?
Well, there's two X chromosomes. If you're a woman, an X and a Y, that means
There's
you're
a
a man.
lot
So
of
there's a
scientific
biological basis
research
for
out
this.
there. There's a lot of scientific research out there that says gender is a spectrum.
Chuck, I respectfully disagree. Gender dysphoria for most of our history, all the way through the DSM-5, has been characterized as a mental health disorder.
He's back.
I know I got to skip my boy so we can get into the actual.
You're calling it that, but how do you know it's
Whoa. Did y'all see that? Okay. I didn't think I wasn't going to get into this to president candidates. So, where my notepad? Let me write this down. Y'all, I know this is Cannabis Water Station, but I got Cannabis Conservative up here. We got to get into some of these details. Told you I'm gonna get into it. So, first things first is I gotta look up this young man and see what he's running for. And he running as a Republican candidate. So I gotta go check him out. Let me write his name down so I don't forget. Yeah, y'all. I'm gonna be taking notes doing the show too sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Even though this man has been in the spotlight, I didn't think he was gonna run for president. No, I did not. I did not. That threw me for a loop. Let's get into this. I really gotta hear this.
Legitimate to say that we won't allow genital mutilation or chemical castration through puberty blockers
You're
for the
calling
purpose
it
of gender
that,
transition.
but how do you know it's that? Again, how do you know? Are you confident that you know that gender is as binary as you're describing it? Are you confident that
I
it
am.
isn't a spectrum?
I am.
You know this as a scientist?
Well, there's two X chromosomes if you're a woman and an X and a Y. That means
There's
you're
a
a man.
lot
So
of
there's a
scientific
biological basis
research
for
out
this.
there. There's a lot of scientific research out there that says gender is a spectrum.
Chuck, I respectfully disagree. Gender dysphoria for most of our history, all the way through the DSM-5, has been characterized as a mental health disorder. And I don't think it's compassionate to affirm that. I think that's cruelty. When a kid is crying out for help, what they're asking for is, you got to ask the question of what else is going wrong at home? What else is going wrong at school? Let's be compassionate and get to the heart of that rather than playing this.
I can definitely agree with them in what he's saying. And if he runs like this, he needs to be a little bit more stronger, a little bit more firm, a little bit more telling of information like, man, what you gonna do? All right. We know what this country is looking like. We know where it's heading to. Lay down a ground of how we gonna take care of this and not hurt nobody's feelings. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. I don't want to discriminate against nobody, but I don't want this one bill who doesn't affect everybody to affect everybody. You see, if that doesn't make sense, let me know. I will try to help y'all out. What's up, no? You know what I'm saying? But we gotta look at some of these candidates and like, what is the ground? It sound good, and we know how everybody do it. They're gonna run off a situation, or yeah, basically a situation. They're gonna run it. They're gonna hit it on the media. They're gonna try to go out there. They're gonna try to hit us in the heart with what's going on with the situation. But if there ain't no facts, if we ain't try to put things into law that's gonna help grow America, when we know everybody on my channel, after a while, is gonna understand, is gonna know that we need to fight China, Russia. You know what I'm saying? We need to fight these countries because we do not want these countries taking over. There's countries getting together who's putting currency, making brand new currency. And I'm not for that.
This game as though we're actually changing our medical understanding for the last
I go
100
back
years.
to this. If a parent is dealing with a child that has these, that may have these issues, trust me, the parent, the last thing they want to do is consider something like this. But if
lies,
that is what they think could help their child pursue happiness, or they're not to kill themselves.
That's it. I'm gonna let them finish, but that's it. The talking points. There's talking points. The talking point when it comes to gender dysphoria is always suicide. Majority of these kids aren't committing suicide to start with. So why is it that that's a talking point? If you don't want your kid to commit suicide, we see transgenderism is going up and we see the suicide numbers are going up. So to be honest, transitioning them is probably thrusting them into potentially committing suicide and self-harm or having suicidal ideations. Because the thing is, some people can't pull the trigger figuratively and literally, and which is a good thing. But they're tormented with this lack of self-worth and purpose on earth. And when a little 7-year-old is forced into making a permanent decision that they're not fully aware of the consequences of, you're going to thrust them to the point of no return. Let me let him finish.
Why take away that option? Again, why shouldn't it be up to the parent?
So part of why parents now suddenly feel that way, let's ask ourselves that, Chuck, is we've created a culture that teaches parents that they're being bigoted or that they're bad people.
Before he get into that, let's discuss. I would like to discuss on my channel one day or tonight. First of all, you're going to give the parents the right to make medical decisions. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that because that needs that. There's no better person out there to make medical decisions than the parent. I have no problem with that. I said that twice. But you have a problem with the parents understanding that the teachers out there are teaching their kids certain things in school that I don't agree that my kids should learn. If I can teach or if I have the right to medicate my kids the way I feel I should be able to tell my teachers to teach my kids certain things that I want them taught. Not that they should have the bigger and better, smarter decision. They went to school for this. Okay, they went to school to teach. Not to say that they know better than the parent of what the kids should know. There are cases out there where the parent may be full of drugs. Uh, Not marijuana, y'all. Drugs, meth, black, heroin. What's that shit that's killing people? Fentanyl. Shit like that. Okay. Now, then I'd be like, okay, now look, the teacher may know a little bit better. But we gotta figure out, and people, presidents who are fin to try to run is gonna run off of that. Watch my words. I'm gonna start writing down things that I don't predict. Like this one, I should write it down, but I know it's gonna be more. It's gonna be way, way worse or way more that I'm gonna talk about. Okay. So when I make them predictions, I'm gonna write them down. Days I write them down my times and everything and stuff. And when they come true, I'm coming back to my paper and I'm gonna show y'all. This is what I was talking about. This right here with this gender phobia, whatever you want to call it, in and out of schools, knowing who, what, when, where, it's getting tad bit out of hand. And only reason it's getting out of hand because it's going to be an easy thing for Democrats to run on during the election for next year in November. Okay. Y'all hear me? Things that really matter in America: building homes, getting the homeless off the streets, gun violence. I would say gun violence. Um, and what's the other one? Our borders. These are bigger things that I would say that's going on that I know a lot of people like, I don't care. I don't care. It's not in my home. It's not knocking in my door. Okay. I got articles. I got another video I'm definitely gonna bring up. I had to watch it earlier to make sure that's gonna show you that all of this, everything that I discussed on my channel has something to do with you and me, and it's gonna affect you one way or the other. Okay. There are jobs leaving major cities that were booming in the economy, booming. But now people are leaving. And you know what I'm saying? I know you don't know them, and I'm gonna bring them up, but I'm just want y'all to know, like this is where we're headed. This is where we're headed. And if I gotta bring videos like this every day, I will on me. But let's hear more about how he's going to help genderify America.
People if they don't actually take those steps. So part of what I think is, listen, gender dysphoria, for the rare few people who have suffered it, is a condition of suffering. My question is, why on earth are we going out of our way to create even more of it? And there's no doubt that the cultural movement in this country, even education, is creating more gender dysphoria. If it's a condition of suffering, let's not create more of it. That's what we're doing.
Shout out to MRC News for the clip.
That school system, y'all. School system and turning your kid. You know what? Another man always said, and I like how he says, and he's probably gonna say it again in one of these shows that I put up here. Give them what they want. Give them to them. Let them pay for all this sex change of kids, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Until and see that's harsh to say because like they say, is kids that change like this, most of them be wanting to get changed back into their original. They can't. A lot of things like that. And hell, it's a touchy subject. It's touchy. As you see, I'm confused in the word. I talk to my son when he calls and I question him. I ask him like, is you all right? Is you feeling like, one of those, you feel like clipping your dick off? Flat out. You know what I'm saying? I ask my son questions like that. Y'all might think that I'm crazy enough to do that. But yes, I ask my son that. You gonna click your dick off? Are you feeling some type of way? I don't know. I need to know. You know what I'm saying? I'm a parent. You know what I'm saying? I may not be the best parent. Obviously, I'm not the best parent. Okay. But I want to know, these questions that I ask is not just questions that, what I'm saying. I think everybody should ask their kids that just I don't know, just to see. Make sure. You know, when you go to the doctor and you get that little health check and they checking your eyes and your ears and all that stuff and they checking your body. Yes, I'm doing that. Hey, son, daughter, everything there is, yeah, maybe we are working too hard as parents and not taking the time out to talk to the kids. So the kids are just having these weird discussions. Yeah, you, I remember playing house as a little kid, and you wanted to be the parent, and sometimes accidentally, as your little cousins and stuff, you probably ain't got a girl around, so you and your two male cousins, y'all playing house, which is I know is dumb and stupid and doesn't sound correct, doesn't sound like something you should be doing. And you're out there playing house like some idiots in the house of bored because it's raining, can't go outside, can't play kickball. You know, you over your auntie house. You know what I'm saying? Your female cousin gone, ain't got nothing but Barbie dolls, so you playing with them things. I used to do it. I used to be at these houses, and I'm bored playing with these fucking dolls and shit. Didn't make me say, hey, I want to put on lipstick and makeup and wear a bra around the house. No, it did not. It was just whatever. But this story right here, y'all, it's a little bit deeper. You should go a little bit further into it. Ooh, that voice right there is gonna sound horrible when I go back and listen to it. Let's get into this.
Vote for Joe Biden, you really are counting on a President Harris, because the idea that he would make it until 86 years old is not something that I think is likely.
He's going to be dead in 5 years. I mean, and she didn't walk it back.
Yeah, that's exactly what she's saying. That's a combination. And as I tweeted out, I thought those comments were vile. I think they were appalling. I really do believe they're not befitting of a presidential candidate or any candidate for public office in the United States of America.
Hey, hold on. Wait a minute, y'all. A lot of people been saying that about that man. And now that he's running for election and people saying y'all want to make a whole news coverage of it, look, do the poll. Should I do a poll on my page? How many people think Joe Biden is gonna croak? You know what I'm saying? Not gonna make it. If people did vote, people gonna vote. People got their way. People got their issues. People got their ideas. Dude mumbles. Go check out my damn YouTube short where I make fun of. I can actually say that I made fun of him. Well, I didn't make fun of him. It's out there, and I put it out there showing that it's out there. So for when people say it and people make fun of it. It's on TikTok all over the place. Stop playing.
America. And there is an element of race baiting in that as well, too. Playing on the fears of folks that might not want a strong black woman as president of the United States. And I think that there is some serious issues. And I'd love to see some of her Republican colleagues walk it back for her, but I don't think we're going to see it. I think they're going to probably jump on board. As I said, I think this is a race to the bottom.
That was interesting this morning. We were looking for Republicans pushing back against it at all and didn't see it.
So did she just say that Biden's not going to survive a second term?
Yeah,
in office?
And
is she saying he's going to be dead?
I think
what is she saying?
That's what she's saying.
Now
That's
she's
the implication.
Nostradamus.
Ooh. Hey, y'all. The View. I'm new to this. I don't watch The View. But some of the things that they be talking about and arguing about, damn it, I see why a lot of people make videos about them and blow up. So hell, I'm not to say that I'm a follower, but damn, if you can't help what they finna say, and I can't wait. I know this is finna be juicy as hell. I just can't wait, y'all.
Oh, apparently,
now
she predicts the future.
I think it's terrible because what she wanted to do is really throw a dig at Kamala Harris, right? That's what she wanted to throw a dig at another woman of color. She wanted to throw a dig at the vice president of the United States. And in doing so, she decided somehow that it was politically expedient to say that he would be dead in 6 years. First of all, that is completely crass. It's terrible for his family and for him to say something like that. A real politician, a good politician, doesn't say things like that. They're sort of a personal attack. And I think this country suffers from terrible ageism. You know, in other countries around the world, people they revere their elders because of the wisdom that comes with the age. And there's nothing to indicate that there's anything wrong with Joe Biden.
I knew it. I knew she was gonna say. I knew somebody on her was gonna say, "Oh, Joe Biden's okay. There's nothing wrong with him. He been chilling. You know, he sound like he just running the country okay. He did not just take troops out of a country and got our gas prices high. Eggs at $8. Yo, I don't know what state y'all from, but I'm in Nevada. Eggs are $8 a carton. Okay. All right. Damn. Come on, y'all.
Up here.
You think at least one time you'd get up and say, I'm running for president. Where am I going? Where the hell am I going? I want to get out. Oh, no, over there.
All right, guys. So
I should have known this was my boy. He brought that up. Man, please, y'all. I'm only cutting through because this time I'm trying to do a little bit more of the talking than them. And we together as a community, as a channel, need to do more talking and discussion of this. We ain't gonna let them take all the light. She said it, y'all. Y'all heard her. She said it. Nothing wrong with Sleepy Man Joe. Ladies, look, somebody just left because they like, man, I voted for him. He's my president. You know who I wish was watching this right now? Kendall. I hate to put his name out. I'm not gonna put his last name out there because don't go look him up because he's a good friend of mine. He's a real good friend of mine. So if he ever watches this episode, he heard me say his name and he heard me say that he's a good friend of mine. I know in the beginning when we first met, you know what I'm saying, he was saying that Joe Biden was going to be a good president, give him time. A lady the other day just hit me up and said Joe Biden hasn't had enough time. The same quote that they gave Barack Obama. Barack Obama, they didn't give him enough time. Barack Obama spent 8 years in office. No impeachment, 2 wars. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know I know y'all know this, but it just amazes me that people can really go on national television and say, hey, there's nothing wrong with this president when we, the American people, see it every day. And the fact that I simply started a whole freaking podcast because the man was just like, oh, hell to the no. If we do not get a better president or somebody in there that can do the job necessarily that we need done, stop playing. I might have to get a shirt done. Burn live, stop playing, president. Sheesh.
Don't compare me to the almighty, compare me to the alternative. That's what this election will be about. I don't think there's a slogan by a presidential candidate that has better encapsulated the reasons why you would pull the lever for him. Joe Biden, yes. Let's talk about it honestly, okay? He is old. Age is an issue. Ageism is an issue. Americans have a rich history of holding people's physical characteristics against them. Okay, you can ask African Americans, you can ask women. That is a fact. That is a problem. That is something that we are definitely going to have to fight on. That is something Democrats are definitely going to have to address head on. I think Joe Biden has definitely done that. He has a record to run on. He has a record of accomplishment. He has a record that can.
Record of accomplishments? What accomplishments? Remember, I'm not here to bash, but I just need to know. My audience would love to. I wish I look. I would feel like I'm interviewing. What accomplishments? Please list 2. Very accomplishments that helped all of us. Huh? I'm sorry, y'all.
In contrast with Donald Trump and where Donald Trump is going to take the country. And by the way, one issue that Kerry did not mention when she talked about these issues that help Republicans, choice.
Yeah, no, and I think it's funny you mentioned the age thing that way, that you can put it in the context of other discrimination, like ageism. And yet, yes, like.
Slick with the words. They're going to start saying that talking about somebody's age is a discrimination. Bro, like, listen here. Okay, then you're gonna people gonna find, oh my God, I'm just so baffled with what words to put together, y'all. If age is gonna be a discrimination, because you already discriminating against so many other things, that would definitely put a black woman in office, because it's like nothing to hold her back. It's like you can't say this against me, you can't say that against me. Then if age, like, what are we going to debate against now? What are we like? Come on, man. The man is really showing he's really showing his age. He's showing his age. And there's countless videos we're gonna be arguing over it over and over and over. So now you should be expecting younger candidates to really come out and try to run for president. So also, I did see a Gen X put out a video like, we're gonna take over, we're gonna put in a new young age president. They act like they're gonna put a little 25-year-old person in the White House. Like, hey, you kid, go run them. You know what I'm saying? Understanding, forgetting that there are rules. There are rules for you. You got to get up in here. Let's see what more of these guys got to say. Lord have mercy.
like Reagan, Biden's going to be upfront about it. He's spoken about it. It does make for what could be a very interesting period of time. We wanted to really get into all of this with the context of what has been a wild and interesting, to say the least, news week.
Yeah, so what I find to be so interesting about the mainstream liberal media, the cackling hens as well, crying bigotry, right, of the supposed ageism that is happening against Joe Biden, comparing it to sexism and racism, okay, because I got to throw that in it as well, too, okay? What I find to be interesting is that Democrats have participated in this same sort of ageism before in the past. But again, when Democrats do it, it's totally fine. Like, for example, Stephen Breyer, when they forced him to retire from the Supreme Court because guess what? He was too old. He was getting up there in age, and they feared that he may die in office because, again, just like Joe Biden, he is, older than the expected life expectancy, right, in this country. Okay, he's older than that, right? So again, there's a possibility he could die in office. He's living longer than expected. They basically forced him to step down. So
you think the world would be quiet if they just announced in the morning, hey, the president died? Will we be I will be shocked as hell, true indeed, like flabbergasted. Like, I can't believe that I talked about it on my show last night. Can't believe that I talked about it now and in the morning that it happened. But like, if we really gonna sit up here and more the 20 plus years that he served, no, I don't think so. I would take my ass right to Boost Mobile and try to sell a damn cell phone. I don't know, man. There's a lot of things that go on, and it seems like America tries to stop and shut down and understand this right here. I don't think it's one of them that will be successfully that'll happen.
That they can make sure that they nominate a liberal and that he wouldn't die in office if a Republican happened to win in 2024. Again, it's amazing how you didn't hear all these cries of ageism, and I guess they related to racism and sexism as well, too. You didn't hear all these cries of bigotry when Democrats were actively, again, forcing a man from the Supreme Court because they say, you're too old, we don't want you to die in office because, a Republican might take your place if the election doesn't go our way. Amazing how that works. Also, at the same time, you have Democrats crying about Dianne Feinstein, who's like, 89 years old? Okay, she's old as dirt, too. Who's a senator from California who's actually going to retire at the end of 2024. But some Democrats are saying, no, that's not enough. You're so damn old, right? You can't even do your basic responsibilities. You need to resign now. Take a look.
Senator Dianne Feinstein says she will not resign. The senator responded tonight after two Democrats, Representative Ro Khanna from the South Bay and Minnesota congressman, or a congressman from Minnesota, said that it was time for her to step down. That suggestion drew a heated response from Feinstein's ally, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. KTV's Jana Kasiyama joining us live tonight with that, as well as the request that Senator Feinstein made tonight. Jana?
Alex, Senator Feinstein was diagnosed with shingles back in February, and she has been in San Francisco ever since receiving medical care. She said today that she plans to return to Congress after treatment, but she also responded to the concerns, requesting a replacement on a key committee.
The call for Senator Dianne Feinstein to step down was blunt and came from a fellow Democrat. South Bay Congressman Ro Khanna Wednesday posted this on social media, saying, "It's time for Senator Feinstein to resign. We need to put the country ahead of personal loyalty. While she has had a lifetime of public service, it is obvious she can no longer fulfill her duties." Agreement soon came from Minnesota.
Hashtag Joe Biden, it's time to go. Hashtag get on your Twitter feed. Right, y'all. Talk to your senators, talk to your governors. Let's get this Let's get it bopping, okay? Okay. Get this Yankee.
Congressman Dean Phillips, who added, Senator Feinstein is a remarkable American whose contributions to our country are immeasurable. But I believe it's now a dereliction of duty to remain in the Senate and a dereliction of duty for those who agree to remain quiet. Senator Feinstein was diagnosed with shingles in February, and she's been absent from Congress ever since. On Wednesday, she responded in a statement saying her return was delayed due to complications. Concerns about Feinstein's ability to fulfill her duties have been raised before, but Khanna explained the timing of going public with his concerns now. In a statement to KTVU, he said, the ruling by an extremist judge in Texas has made it clear that Democrats must act with speed and urgency to confirm judicial nominees who will protect the right to an abortion. Senator Feinstein is unable to fulfill her duties, and for the good of the people, she should resign. On Wednesday, Feinstein acknowledged potential delays, saying, I understand that my absence could delay the important work of the Judiciary Committee, so I've asked Leader Schumer to ask the Senate to allow another Democratic senator to temporarily serve until I'm able to resume my committee work. Feinstein's ally, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, noted that other senators have missed votes, including Senators Dick Durbin, Mitch McConnell, and John Fetterman.
It's interesting to me. I don't know what political agendas are at work that are going after Senator Feinstein in that way. I've never seen them go after a man who was sick in the Senate in that way.
Senator Feinstein turns 90 in June, and her term lasts until January 3rd, 2025. If she does decide to step down before that, Governor Gavin Newsom would fill the vacancy, and he has said in the past that he would nominate a Black woman to that seat. Alex?
Okay, Janet Katsuyama, thank you.
Yeah, you notice there how Gavin Newsom has.
This is why y'all probably gonna see a lot of his shows come up, because bruh, he be busting them Democrats' heads. And if you're a Democrat and you come onto this platform, I'm sorry. Let me first say I'm sorry. I used to be a Democrat, and they wasn't doing enough for me. Y'all see my skin color, so don't get it like I'm not from the streets. I'm not from a bad neighborhood. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, 314 South Side. Bad neighborhood, just like anybody else. I just did some research, some homework, and I woke up, and this is where I come to it. And I've been a conservative for I've been a conservative for about like 6-7 years now. A lot of people around me with a Democratic mind, and then we get to talking and conversate, and I just seen a lot of things, and I heard a lot of things, and it's not like these things are not out there for you to see for yourself, that this party that we vote for is not necessarily ideal for all of us. Okay. To break it down, for me to break it down to you and my audience and everybody that watches, it goes like this. The Democratic Party is more ideal thinking for the future. You know what I'm saying? They don't want no traditional things to stay relevant that really made this country. You know what I'm saying? They rather open, as y'all see, and you hear the stories. I got one more story to bring up that's really, really serious. Everybody that's coming up in here, I do got one more story. But the Democratic Party want to open the borders, want every idea to come into play, and let's make a law for it. And it sounds good. It sounds good. We can all. I got 6 people people up in here and we all put down a law that we like and we like, boom, let's have it. It sounds good. It sounds awesome. But there are laws that are taking place that aren't good, that doesn't help. Was it yesterday? Oregon? It's going to be a trash dump there. And I said eventually when you cannot handle a state, you're going to end up giving it to a government. Once the government take over, we're going to lose our rights. We're going to lose our freedom. And I know I wish, and I thank God I don't have nobody up in here to do it. Actually, somebody would come up here and say, "Oh, we're slaves now today," and you know what I'm saying. I see that argument on videos all the time, and thank God it's not on my show. So that means I have a mature audience, and that's good. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people ain't going through this. They have a mature enough audience, be like, "Okay, yes, bro, I understand that we're free. We're one of the freest countries because of what?" The freedom of speech, the freedom to open our mouths and say whatever we want to say under the amendment, under the rights. And then our Second Amendment. Our first three amendments is like top notch, giving you the right. And then I let people know that, yo, there's countries out here where you think that you finna leave. You're not leaving them countries and coming over here to America. Hey, I have a vacation. Go back. I'm like, man, there's a lot of countries that's not popping like that. I'm in Vegas, so I see a lot of people, a lot, all over the world. I think it's one of the most beautifulest things about Vegas. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad to be out here. You know what I'm saying? It gives me a better idea for when I do come on here and talk to y'all. I'm like, okay, if I don't see diversity and different cultures from all over the world coming and cheer, then I don't know where you at. You know what I'm saying? Other place that's bigger than here is California and New York, Texas. But still, nobody travels into them places more than they travel here to Las Vegas, Nevada. We see damn near over 3 million people a year. That's a lot of people for a town that's this big. And you got New York and Texas, and you know what I'm saying? You got states. I'm naming states, and Las Vegas is a county. You see what I'm saying? So let me, before I forget, not I wasn't gonna forget, but before I lose this other article, let me go get it. Go get it. I appreciate y'all chilling and hanging out with your boy today. I told y'all Monday and Wednesday I'm bringing y'all these receipts. Y'all thought I wasn't playing. I think. Is it this way? Where the what? See, this is the word I hate. Snow. It's okay, homie. Yeah, it's okay. Here it is. Yeah, this one I was watching earlier. I'm gonna bring it up. I was watching this earlier and it got deep. I was just like, damn. I got to bring this up to the show. Got to. I was gonna start off with this one. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait till the end to bring this one. I'm gonna bring these other ones that I haven't seen, and I'm gonna not end it but I guess sort of ended with this one because this is more of what I just seen. And there was a lot of different testimonies of what's going on around, and a lot of people putting their inputs. So you just see like now y'all got to see like 3 different categories that I got to knock down. Gender, schools, and now we're gonna get into the border to let you know how on the outskirts of what's going on in cities, this is what's going on the outskirts of the cities and towns and states.
It is my testimony that the border is secure.
We have a secure border in that is a priority for any nation, including ours and our administration.
We have taken unprecedented action over the past year and a half to secure our border.
And we have a process in place to manage migrants at the border. We're working to make sure it's safe and orderly and humane.
The border is closed.
We agree that the border is secure.
We're executing a comprehensive strategy to secure our borders.
One of our highest priorities is to ensure that we have a secure border, and that is what we are doing.
The border is secure.
A lot of questions about President Biden and his ability to serve in a second term. You see him up close, face to face. What say you? Is he up for a second term?
What could I say? I knew if I gave the wrong answer.
Oh, Chuck, 100%. Incredibly sharp, incredibly probing, incredible command of the details, probing on the details, asking tough questions. Absolutely. I'm incredibly proud to serve in his administration. I am incredibly proud of the work that we have done across the board.
You have full confidence he can serve a second term?
100%.
So I lied.
Is he up for a second term?
All right, guys. So we got to talk about disgraced lame duck mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot, who took to CNN to beg Texas Governor Greg Abbott to stop sending illegal immigrants to Chicago as Texas experiences the brunt of the border crisis. Now, for those of you who have been living on a rock, and I'm pretty sure if you've been watching my channel, you're not living on a rock. You know what's going on here. The red state governors have been sending illegal immigrants nonstop to liberal cities like New York and Chicago. And the liberal mayors of those cities who once told us that they love illegal immigrants, right? Because they're sanctuary cities. And because of that, people in the South, in Texas and Arizona, in the border states, they're supposed to love illegal immigrants too and, take care of them and stuff like that. They've been throwing a fit because once they actually get what they asked for, all of a sudden, they don't like illegal immigration anymore. In fact, they've come to terms with the reality of the border crisis and what's going on as the Biden administration denies that there's a crisis at all. But again, you have mayors like, for example, Eric Adams, who has been whining and crying, boohoo whining and crying about illegal immigration in New York City ever since they started sending them there. Take a look.
Our cities are being undermined, and we don't deserve this. Migrants don't deserve this. And the people who live in the cities don't deserve this. In New York, you go there, you're going to be living in congregate settings, that there is no more room in New York.
The city is being destroyed by the migrant crisis, and none of my folks came to Washington, D.C. to fight for the resources that's going to undermine every agency in our city.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Woke Mayor Eric Adams admits that the migrant crisis is destroying the city of New York and that New Yorkers don't.
So they're admitting, y'all seen it, he's showing it. That's a bad. Hey, listen, I'll be pausing these people on some of the ugliest faces. But to get back to it, Trump got in office. He wanted to put up a wall. Everybody thought it was a problem. He was wrong. It was the scrutiny. Inhumane. These were some of the words. I was just like, man, I'm not saying that those are big words, but those are harsh words to say about a man when he's trying to protect our borders, because you can't get into Canada like that. You can't go to Spain like that. You can't go to Ukraine. You can't go to Dubai like that. How many of y'all out there went to Dubai or been to Dubai or want to go to Dubai? Okay. All right. Stop playing. Stop playing. My boy up here showing y'all that, you know what I'm saying, this border crisis thing is serious. When you or your kids, because basically it's probably your kids, y'all, probably your kids, can't find a job. Oh, daddy, I want to start a job. Mama, I want to start a job. When they can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because the immigrants is overpopulating the cities and towns and counties and countries and ponds and lakes, lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. Okay. Remember this video. Like, man, that one weird guy, Burnside. Yeah, man. Like, I've been saying, like, man, I done argue with a lot of people over this border patrol. Like, we need the border, we need the wall, we need a wall, we need something just as secure as any other country. You know what I'm saying? We need to be tough. We need to be like a fist. We need not to be like hands open. I want to punch somebody, not smack somebody, and then who don't get smacked get in between the hands and the fingers. That's the unfortunately the illegal immigrants. And not only is they coming over here, but Joe Biden, who they say is, he's a good president, he's doing a mighty fine job, is want to give them more money than they want to give you. Oh yeah, he want to give them more money. He want to get them paychecks. You know what I'm saying? Want to get them $500,000 so they can get their whole life together. Hey, come over here and get your whole life together. But only do it in the southern states. So the southern start moving them up to New York and Chicago and Indiana and Montana and shit, hell, wherever they can send a bus to them. Now there's problems. And now we're reporting on it. We let you know, hey man, don't say there's a problem if you're not with no solution. And that's what one good boss taught me. And I love that he taught me that. Don't come with a problem if you don't have no type of solution to at least start off with. I love that. So I love that phrase. And that's how I go into any problem that I come with. Like, do I have any type of solution? You know what I'm saying? Unless I'm totally stuck. You know what I'm saying? I gotta have some type of solution. This is getting redonkulous.
From the border are just as overwhelmed as if they were on the Rio Grande themselves.
That's Texas Republican Congressman Tony Gonzalez describing a worsening situation at the border as Title 42 is set to expire next week. That's that COVID-era policy that allowed the border authorities to quickly expel certain migrants. Gonzalez's comments come as Chicago's outgoing mayor, Lori Lightfoot, who you just heard from, is now urging Texas Governor Greg Abbott to stop sending busloads of migrants to her city of Chicago. Lightfoot yesterday wrote in a letter to him saying, quote, your lack of consideration or coordination in an attempt to cause chaos and score political points has resulted in a critical tipping point in our ability to receive individuals and families in a safe, orderly, and dignified way. Mayor Lightfoot is back here at the table with us, also joining our conversation on immigration and other key issues. CNN senior political commentator and former Republican congressman from Illinois, Adam Kinzinger. Thank you both. Two questions for you on this letter. One, have you heard anything?
No, we had not heard anything back. And frankly, I didn't expect to hear anything back, but I felt like it was important to once again try to engage the governor, but also let him know what his policies and practices are doing in cities like Chicago. We are completely tapped out. We have no more space, no more resources. And frankly, we're already in a surge. We've been seeing over the last week 200 plus people coming to Chicago every single day. We call them walk-ins because they're not coming on buses, but they are coming on planes from San Antonio. And we're very concerned because they don't seem like they're getting screened at the border. We've seen people coming with serious medical issues.
Well, I imagine his response, though, would be a defense of what they're doing. Obviously, he's continued to do this. And what Governor Abbott has said in the past is that this is a way for other states and other cities to see what Texas and Arizona deal with, saying that they are bearing the brunt of this issue. And they're basically just showing other people what it's like.
But what's getting lost in what the governor is doing is the fact that these are human beings. In any other emergency, you would be coordinating, you'd be collaborating, you'd be talking about specifically what the needs of the people are. We've seen people come off of these buses that he has sent who are victims of sexual assault, who have serious medical conditions that can't be dealt with by the paramedics that we have on site. They've got to be rushed to the hospital. Women who are in such an advanced stage of labor, they literally get off the bus and give birth within one of our facilities. That doesn't make any sense.
So she doesn't think that maybe Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, them states are overpopulated with the same thing going on. So therefore they can't hold all them people. So therefore they got to ship them off. That's the whole point of shipping them off, because they're overran too. She don't want to think like that. No, just Chicago. Just Chicago. And that's crazy that you're only just worried about Chicago. Like there's other states that's going through that same problem too. I know people look at me and be like, bro, you should only worry about Nevada. And I'm not. I'm worried about America. All 50 states that give me the freedom to roam and do and love and chill and hang out and enjoy the scenery. You know what I'm saying? Some places cost, some, there are free places, there are expensive places, but that's different. The thing is, when it does start getting overran and overpopulated, build a wall. Tighten up on the border. She should be saying, okay, yes, that's right. We are getting these victims. They are overrun. I do agree with Texas now. I'm seeing the crisis. We need to tighten up on the wall. But also, we do need to start calling and correlating with some of these patients. Hey, send me a bus with, certain type of patients. And if you're going to send pregnant patients and these victims, please let me know what bus them. I totally get it. Totally get it. But then in the same breath, admit that's it. Admit that yes, the border crisis is a problem. She's not going to say the borderline is a problem. Only thing is a problem is that Texas is sending up too many people. That's bull crap when it gets all said and done. You know what I'm saying? You just want to hit back with another political point because your political point is getting overran and overtaken over. And that's why you're not really the mayor of Chicago no more.
So if we don't put the humanity of these migrants front and center, I understand, and I'm solely compassionate to the fact that the borders are themselves really overrun, but you don't solve that problem by simply sticking people on buses to a city that they didn't ask to come to for an uncertain future. And
to a city, I like that part where she said, send them to a city they did not ask to come. Where shoot, we didn't ask for them to come here to where we was at and overpopulate our state, Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, Florida, New Orleans. I feel for them. That's why I don't want to move down south. Everybody like, man, move down south is hella cheap, get some land. So what? I can worry about people running through my 27 acres of land that I got and hiding out And then one day, no, I don't want that. I can't have that on my conscience of thinking of having that much land and people running through my backyard to run to a land or run to somewhere where they can hide and find shelter. And then the president is going to give them money. They've been hiding out in my backyard. You're not gonna give the man where they hiding out in the backyard the money, is you? Nah, you're not. Hell, that now if it was reversed, like okay, everybody out there who had an illegal immigrant on their property or something like that, shit, hell, we're gonna give you some money. Give you some money, give you the illegal immigrants some money. Hell, everybody be like, come on in, open that border up. We all get paid. We all get paid. Open that border up. Shit. Right. If they finna get paid, if you got a problem like foot and it's gonna spread some, I have illegal immigrants up in here. What's up? Come lay on my floor. What's up? Shit, they be lying across and give me all that money. We'll be all chilling. I help them. Shoot, I probably wouldn't have to work. Sit at home, be doing podcasting all day. Be like I took in a new one, another one. What? I'm just saying. Just saying.
And now where we are literally full.
Yeah, so that is, again, lame duck mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot, begging Greg Abbott, please stop sending us illegals. It's destroying our city. Again, it's amazing because these people told us how great illegal immigration was when it was just happening in Texas and Arizona, right? When they didn't have to deal with the crisis, they told people in those states to shut the hell up, you bigots. You need to take in all the illegals, right? You need to take care of them and act like good Christians, right? They try to lecture people on Christianity, okay? But again, as soon as they experience the crisis, now they want to boo-hoo, whine, and complain. Meanwhile, Title 42, which is a Trump era / COVID era policy that was designed to detour illegal immigration during the pandemic, that allows for asylum seekers to be turned away at the border quickly without having to go through a long, court process. That's about to end because the Biden administration fought for it to end. Okay, they fought for it to end, and Lori Lightfoot is saying nothing about that. She's placing no blame on the Biden administration and Democrats for incentivizing illegals to come here with their rhetoric and their policies. Okay, telling illegals to come before Biden was even elected, and then as soon as he got elected, they want to act surprised that all of these people showed up to the border, that we have this migrant crisis. Yeah, it's because Democrats told them that it's totally fine to come to this country and we get elected. Lo and behold, this is what happens. Meanwhile, in Texas, a state that, again, the mainstream liberal media and the woke Democrat mayors, they don't care about in regards to what they're experiencing down there. There was just a major mass shooting that, again, the mainstream liberal media is going to ignore because, once again, ding, 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 doesn't fit the narrative. It was a mass shooting that was allegedly orchestrated by Francisco Oropesa, who did an execution-style mass shooting of 5 neighbors in their home, including an 8-year-old boy. And it just so happens that this guy was in the country illegally, and he had been re-entering the U.S. illegally multiple times, according to ICE. Take a look.
Authorities have announced a total reward of $80,000 for information that leads to finding 38-year-old Francisco Oropesa. That's $50,000 from Governor Greg Abbott, $25,000 from the FBI, and $5,000 from local Crime Stoppers agencies. The FBI also released these new photographs of Oropesa. One of them shows a distinctive tattoo on the suspect's left forearm. Investigators say an intoxicated Oropesa opened fire in his neighbor's home outside of Cleveland just after midnight Saturday. They'd apparently complained about his firing shots on his property. Now, these are the names of the victims, according to the family. The youngest, a boy just 8 years old. The sheriff of San Jacinto County became emotional.
He was up in Cleveland, way up north. That's sad. I just want to give everybody a quick moment of silence for them victims right there, because you know what I'm saying. I didn't know them. You know what I'm saying. I don't want harm against nobody, so I'm just gonna give a quick just moment of silence. Right on. We need to clean up our borders. Man. Shooting, killing, all this weirdness that's going on, man. If we don't sit up here and clean up our borders, man, I don't know what we gonna do. Don't take the guns away. Now that's what I'm not saying. You're not gonna hear me ever say. Take the
Talking
guns
about the
away.
child who will never grow up.
My heart is with this 8-year-old little boy.
Family of the victims returned to the scene of the crime this morning. They are devastated, trying to figure out how they're going to send their loved ones' bodies back to their native Honduras. ABC 13's Nick Notario spoke to them today and heard the horrific details of the phone calls they received shortly after that shooting.
The huge police presence here at this neighborhood is gone, but there's still law enforcement out here, and you can see them down there. They're going house to house, trying to talk to neighbors, learning more about the suspect, but also about the victims from that horrific incident.
Yeah, I see that dirt back road off in the cut.
You can see right over here, family have come over here trying to pick up some belongings, some trying to pick up their vehicles. And, we were able to go, we talked to them about what they saw in the house. They told us that there was a bullet hole in the TV screen. There's some of the blinds have been shattered, and you can see there's kids' toys just knocked over in the home. Family here still devastated, trying to figure out exactly why on earth something like this were to happen. And we spoke to one family member as they were coming out here to pick up their belongings, and he told us that what happened here could have been so much worse.
I don't wish it on anyone. It's the least you'd expect, because we used to meet here at home because we're family. He went on to say, we were sleeping. My nephew Romero called my wife and said, help, they're killing us all. My wife thought it was a joke. My nephew called her again, and my wife told him to call the police. He called the police, and they told him they were already there.
Well, there's been activity over here just to the left. That's the suspect's house. There hasn't been any kind of activity at all. We didn't see any law enforcement officers or state troopers go over there and do any door knocking, but they are going up and down the street here as they try to collect evidence in their investigation. Obviously, something that will continue for not just today, but in the days to come. In San Jacinto County, Nick Notario, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
And here is another look at the suspect, Francisco Oropesa. The FBI releasing several of these new photographs today, including that distinctive tattoo on his left forearm.
Yeah, so you would think that the guy who allegedly is second in charge in regards to the border, I guess technically, because Alejandro Mayorkas is behind Kamala Harris, who is the border czar, but she's missing in action. She will never answer any questions about the border. She's completely tuned out when it comes to the border. Okay. Yeah, you would think that this guy, Mayorkas, would have some answers in regards to the immigration status of this individual, but he doesn't really want to comment on that. And he also has no clue why Border Patrol agents think that he's an absolute disaster. Take a look.
There is some question about his citizenship. He supposedly had I guess they referred to it as a consulate card from Mexico, meaning he was here legally, but perhaps he had overstayed.
So, Chuck, I won't comment on it because it is an active case. The tragedy that occurred is, you described it correctly, just absolutely horrific.
I want to ask you about Border Patrol because the union doesn't like you. And they make it pretty clear on social media this month and last month, the month before. These are all from Border Patrol, the Border Patrol union on you. The chickens are going to come home to roost because of what he's done. They call you a national disgrace. Remove Mayorkas was their most recent tweet. How can you lead a group of people whose union wants you out of office?
Chuck, I'm incredibly proud to work with the United States Border Patrol. I have supported them vigorously since my first day in office. I will continue to do so. A tremendous source of pride. And I will tell you
What do you
this.
think the disconnect is? Do you think this is media perception? Why do you think there is this a political disconnect? Is this a red-blue divide? Just simply that you're in a Democratic administration? What do you believe it is?
Chuck, I'm focused on mission. That's what I'm focused on. I look at their needs. I try to fulfill their needs.
There is already reports in Brownsville, Texas right now, shelters are overwhelmed. The cities of Chicago and New York are already overwhelmed. What's May 12th going to look like if we're already overwhelmed before the expiration of Title 42?
A few things, Chuck. First of all, this is a really tough challenge and has been, as we all recognize, for years and years. We are seeing a level of migration, not just at our southern border, but throughout the hemisphere that is unprecedented. It is, I think, the greatest migration in our hemisphere since World War II. The president on day one delivered a solution. He delivered immigration reform legislation that we had hoped Congress would act on swiftly. They haven't. Within the constraints of a broken immigration system, we are doing so much.
What's the definition of secure border to you?
It is, in the context in which we are working, it is maximizing the resources that we have available to us to deliver the most effective results.
Talk about a participation trophy definition, okay? Well, it is in the context of the resources that we're using to deliver the most effective results. What results, right? 6.5 million plus illegal immigrants entering this country, right? Overwhelming the border. I'm not sure if I would call that delivering effective results. But again, we're living in an upside down world where clearly the Democrat Party and liberals are not in tune with reality. What I find to be hilarious is that you have these blue state mayors that are so upset with red state governors like Greg Abbott sending illegal immigrants their way. But at the same time, again, they told us how great illegal immigration is. And illegal immigration is at an all-time high right now. And these people are complaining the most, right? They're complaining louder than Greg Abbott and Republicans are complaining. Okay, it's just absolutely hilarious how that works. Once they get a taste of their own medicine, all of a sudden they become staunch, tough on border advocates, right? But they're like, no, we can't have this much illegal immigration in this country. So again, I'm glad that these liberal mayors, these Democrats are realizing that illegal immigration is not a good thing, right? That illegal immigration is a strain on resources, is a strain on the social safety net. It contributes to crime and chaos. And it's just a shame that they had to experience this firsthand in order to realize it. But again, it's just amazing to me how they expect the red states, Republicans, conservatives to deal with it and to suck it up, but they want to boohoo, whine, and complain when they get just a little bit of it, right? Texas is getting the brunt of it, right? Imagine what they're going through, okay? And you got liberal mayors like Eric Adams and, you know.
He ain't lying, y'all. That shit is wild. And I wanted to cover it because these are things that go on every day, all day. And we never hear no reports about them. Y'all not going to see it. And you know what I'm saying? I know for a fact y'all not watching them on no stoner channel. So that's why I brought it to this stoner channel. I want to be one of the first stoner channel that really covers some really serious ass shit. That's why I say I got them receipts for you today, y'all. For real. I'm finna start bringing them Monday through Wednesday. Hey, let's take another dive before I get up out of here with you guys, man. It's been another good one. And look, we did a whole good show with no music. And I know it sounds good. I'm tired of the music if it's going to sound bad until I can work on that and get that sounding great. I got you. Cheers. It's been another good show, y'all. Appreciate y'all hanging out with your boy. Another Brown Live episode in the bag. For real. It's been awesome. Good night, y'all.